Kid. It's Palace Day Shilarino, and we're in the basement with the interview portion of the show. This is Short Story Inc. from Chicago, Illinois. So how about we do introductions? We'll start with you.
I'm Fujo, I play bass.
Nathaniel Nate Griffin.
My name's Mo, I play drums.
He didn't say what he played.
Oh, yeah. He just exists.
He's just in the band.
I'm Nathan O'Dea. I sing and I play guitar.
So we interviewed you guys, several months ago. You sent us your album. We played that after we interviewed you guys. So fast forward now months. Where is Short Story Inc. now?
We are playing shows all around the city, and we're doing festivals at the end of the summer. And we're making a music video, and on our second album currently. But I'm going through a house change situation, and so is Mo, and we're holding off on finishing the record until we're both situated before we can start releasing that. But we're gonna finish sending out music videos for the first album at the end of this summer, including our documentary movie.
Ooh. What music videos do you have? Because when we first talked,
Zero.
you had just sent us stuff, and you were like, "This is brand new."
Yeah, that was fresh. That might have been Lost and Confused, and I went on tour by myself because the other section of members that I had couldn't commit to going across the country. So I went by myself, and all I had was the little bit of workout that I had from making the new songs. So I had just demos of what was this album, Metanoia, Sink or Swim, and I took off.
Metanoia. I keep saying it wrong.
Metanoia, yeah. It's Greek. It's Greek philosophy for your own spiritual journey. Hence the other part of it, which is sink or swim. So it's your own personal journey. You know consciously what is right and what is wrong. Now you choose in the midst of it, sink or swim. Go with whichever the option. You choose. I would say
sink or swim.
Choose of the lesser evils, or if you want to fucking choose the more evil thing, sink. But sink or swim, yeah, pretty much.
When we talked last, you guys had been kicked out of your rehearsal spot.
Yeah.
So, can you tell us if there's been any resolution to that and how?
We haven't been on the spot since.
No.
We just jam.
Me and him personally, our names are banned from the rock spot. So we both had. I had.
You have there's a band list.
Yeah. Okay, because.
What had happened
was, I was doing this with just two other guys, Tim and Nick. And Tim left me. He just stopped playing shows. So me and Nick were doing this as a two-piece. And we got a room. And Mo heard us jam all the time. He's like, "Hey man, I like your music." So we learned all the songs on drums. And we jammed them together, and then all of a sudden Nick left for some strange reason. Well, there's a lot in between that we're not telling you guys. But pretty much Nick got in trouble and he couldn't play. So Mo, out of that, when we first met, knowing all the songs on drums, went naturally to drums, and our good friend Refugio joined on the bass.
So you have in the works another album.
Yeah.
So is this going to be an LP or an EP, and will you guys be pressing it yourselves?
Oh. More than likely.
Yeah,
well, go and try to answer this one, baby.
Me.
Alright, so pretty much we do everything ourselves. But I'm thinking of either putting out a vinyl press of the next album, or a CD or cassette type of press, limited press. But everything else will be done from the internet, If you really want the album, just get it from the internet.
Are you guys
But if
gonna
you-
use like a CD baby or a distro?
Yeah, probably.
Don't do it.
No,
Don't fucking
tell
do
me
it.
what to do.
Oh my god, I will tell you what to
Get
do.
on to, yeah,
Here's the
what-
thing, if you go through a distributor, yes, great. They're gonna press your shit and they're gonna push it onto the internet.
Preach.
But this ain't church, calm down.
Wait, I'm sacred in church. Was like, I don't know what else he says.
But what
you know.
happens is you lose
Fuck it.
your rights to your music, and you also lose the royalties, because though it will be on places like Spotify and iTunes, they're going to make almost 80% of what it is that the cost of buying one of your songs is. So if the song is $1,
you think I
you're
don't
gonna
do that?
maybe do 30 to 40 cents for a song, and
Dude,
they're gonna
do
make
that.
the rest of it. Plus, if you ever tell them, nah, I'm not interested in working with you anymore, they still own the rights to your music. So
Oh,
it'll
that's
be
nice.
distributed, they'll get the money, and you don't get shit.
What?
Which does nothing but confuse the interwebs. Because
Listen
what
to
you
this.
want to do is you want to consolidate all of your shit into one spot so that you create enough metadata so that when people type in Short Story Inc., it pops up just you.
Preach on, sister.
Yeah! Hey! Can I get a name in?
Hey,
man! So
motherfucker.
it's really not terribly expensive to, if any of you
You
have
just,
a
you just point us
computer.
into the direction of the way we should be working.
Do you have a computer?
Oh, wait, a computer?
Do you have a computer?
One of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like,
Do you mix your own shit? Because what
Yeah,
you do
no,
then
no, we
is you
do
do
it.
this. You go, boop, CD, burnable. What? Fuck. Enter, burn. Damn, I made my own CD. And
we've been
now,
doing that for 800 years.
right, for 100 years, says Bob Marley.
800
Anyway.
years.
But if you do this, this interview will be turned into an audio file that is just audio, and it's put on SoundCloud. If you take your music and put it on SoundCloud, that's already the catalyst and the platform that you need to be put onto iTunes and Spotify independently, and you own all of your own shit.
Alright, we already got half of that.
Hey, the more you know!
But we only have our demos out on SoundCloud right now. All our full-length album stuff is on Bandcamp.
Right.
So maybe
Check it
we'll
out.
start.
Yeah.
So when you guys posted your things onto Bandcamp, how did you select the first song that is played? Why that one and not other ones off of Sink or Swim?
What is the first song that plays?
Love.
I think, yeah.
It is Love Loves Lust. Okay, so
Probably just happened that way.
pretty much no.
You
No.
pick them up.
I wanted to put it into like a story of someone coming to fruition, into consciousness. But the whole concept came from when I was coming out of a relationship. So the whole, catacomb for this album comes from this first part. It's called Love Loves Lust, and you realize that love isn't exactly what you hoped for, this fairy tale thing, and it turns you kind of crazy. It turns you like insane. But it sets the mood for, going crazy and going too far and drinking and trying different things like drugs and having sex with women and whatever you want to do.
What about with
That-
men? How come
well-
nobody goes that way after their
trust
heart
me.
gets broken?
Well,
Women go
when you
women
know-
say, fuck man, I'm going like total
Hey,
pussy. And
trust
guys
me.
are like, I'm just gonna stick with the same crazy bitches.
No, trust me.
Oh.
When we're not with the crazy bitches, we're with the crazy bitches. And
Those
that's
are the
us.
crazy bitches.
We are the crazy
Hey,
bitches.
bitches.
We're the people who try to avoid. but more than likely, it's about figuring out that you're acting wrong while you're coming into kind of consciousness and acting wrong in the moment.
Do you think you act right now?
No.
Is the next album about acting
but,
right?
But being conscious of what you're doing while you're doing it definitely is a big step.
Mm-hmm.
We could get drunk and get high or do drugs or whatever the fuck we want, and it's not going to change our morals. We are sweethearts to each other, all of
To
us.
each other.
To each other.
Yeah, no, we're and to anybody. To be realistic, we're sweethearts to everybody. But when the time comes and people want to act rough with us, we'll fuck them up. You know?
Fair
That's
warning.
the fun. We are in line with both of ourselves,
That's not my
feminine
motto.
and masculinity.
I didn't
I
know
can be a sweetheart, but I will kick your fucking ass, you piece of crap.
You put some glasses on.
No. You gotta be, because people nowadays, they're not who they are. Nobody wants to be who they are. And if you could just be realistic and be who you are and be in line with what you is, maybe everybody else could get along a little bit better. Try to be something else when you can just be who you are and be in line.
I like who I am.
Yeah, I love who you are too.
This is a touching moment. So this leads me into my next question with you saying that people aren't what they are and that there is very much a facade that goes on.
Mm-hmm.
What kind of scene do you play with in Chicago and what
Elitists.
Yes! Okay, I don't mean to talk shit, but I do spit truth.
Can I just golf clap
It is
that real
a
quick?
fucking truth.
Thank you.
So would you find that it is
Say
very
that.
difficult to get shows and not be significantly criticized
Oh no.
by even
Definitely.
people who sound shittier than you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And this is
August
where
30th.
this is where we come in. We've been doing
Oh.
Short Story Inc. as a whole, even without my fellows right here, we've been doing this for over 10 years. So we kind of get the recognition that we deserve, but we like to get more fucked up than we deserve to be. so you know, even in our comfortability, if that's even a word, if we're comfortable
You just made it one.
playing,
That's the short story.
add that to the dictionary,
You just
Webbers.
one-upped it.
And that's the short
So-
story.
That's the short story.
Long story short,
Uh,
anyways, where was I again?
You're singing.
Yeah, well,
We play with people.
I love the kids, and I try to be as respectful
Do you-
as we can to everybody.
Do you play more actual established venue shows, or do you
No.
play more underground basement do-it-yourself?
It's about
venues?
half and half, actually, but the majority in which come to those DIY shows makes it like 80 to 20% because nobody goes to those bar shows. Nobody wants to go to
No.
any of those bars
Why?
because they cost money to get in, they cost extra money for beer,
A lot
$4
of money.
shots.
A lot of money if you're
Yeah,
from here.
we don't even fuck around with those taxes.
No, you don't.
We go to the shows with liquor in our
That'll be edited out.
Off the record.
We know. You gotta be, conspicuous. So, because for me, and because I think you have a tag on Bandcamp as well, you fall into ska punk. Someone is dying. Their phone said "fuck you." So, you fall into this oh my
You
god.
heard it?
Was that, is that what that means?
This
Yeah.
whole time, we had no idea.
So you fall into ska punk, but who do you play with most often? Are you mainly playing with a majority of punk bands?
Yeah, pretty much.
Is there a
bands,
stronger
metal
punk scene in
bands.
Chicago? Metal? I can see
A lot
you
of
play
metal,
thrash. I know
Oh.
metal's
there's a big,
huge.
yeah.
It is
For that.
nasty huge.
Thrash, death metal, all that stuff.
Yeah, no, I've spent far too many years in the fucking black death metal scene in
Yeah,
Chicago
fucking awesome.
to care. Yeah, no, oh god. Yeah, Withering Soul are good friends of mine. They've slept on my couch. They've snuggled my puppies. Yeah,
Nice. I
no.
love snuggling puppies.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
But
no.
not when I'm sweaty.
I
So
don't think
where,
they like that
what
either.
is
I
the
don't know who
progress?
likes that.
What's the progression of Short Story? Because when I interviewed you last, it was just you two, and I think you actually were in your rehearsal spot, like as your last night.
Yeah, we
getting
were.
We
kicked
were
out.
in his bedroom. Yeah, we were.
So- What's gonna happen now? Where do you want to go with this band? Are tours the next thing?
Mars.
Are you?
Mars.
Did you say? I thought you said Marmots, and I was like,
There
what?
too.
Nice
Weird?
marmot.
Yeah, that's a good
What does that
Marmot.
even mean
It
right
means
now?
whatever you want to.
Whoa. I like your dictionary.
Yeah, marmots. That's an animal, man.
Y'all
We
going
got one of
crazy.
those in the ocean, dude.
Yeah.
Back to evolution.
Where do you play
Yeah.
That's
next?
where we're going.
We're playing a backyard show
Oh yeah, next week.
August 11th And August 12th, we are playing Pilsen Community Market.
And then after that, when's Punk the Burbs?
Oh, Punk the Burp Fest. Let me get to that.
Mm-hmm. Do elaborate.
September 22nd, we got on to one of the biggest festivals that's going to be in the suburbs called Punk the Burbs, and the Queers are headlining.
They
I don't
are.
know if you guys ever heard of the Queers, but they're fucking awesome.
They are.
Bumsy and the Moochers, a lot of big
That's
bands.
how I know of this event, because
Yeah.
Caitlin was like, hey, here's this thing.
Exactly, and apparently they knew about us before we knew about them. They just threw us on the festival.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm so grateful for the,
Is it
Sure.
shocking when other local bands are like, I fucking love you, and you're like, who the fuck are you?
It's even more shocking when you have bands coming from places that you've been, and they've seen you.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, wait a minute. You saw me. You saw me in San Antonio? I don't believe you.
So because you went on tour, where would you say has the best ska punk scene?
Ooh, ska punk.
He just
All right,
makes sound
it's
effects.
coming
This guy
from,
over here.
I'm an athlete.
It's coming from Las Vegas.
Yeah?
Right now, they got the CGs. They got the Desert Island Boys. They have Bitchin' Dudes. The best motherfuckers in the Midwest. The best are in.
Yeah, that's totally west, though, not mid.
I mean, yeah, I'm sorry. I was
That's
Yeah.
mountain
I mean,
time,
you know
bro.
I just got
the best,
geographical open
you
here.
know what she got me on that one? I don't know what that place is
My
called.
dictionary
The
is
best
bravo, bro.
motherfuckers in the Las Vegas place.
Your dictionary is bigger.
Uh-huh.
My boys over there. Desert Island Boys. Bitchin' Dudes. Sector 7G.
They played in Kenosha when I was like 15 years old.
Mm.
Yeah, they did.
That's my
They're
homies.
playing Lollapalooza, I think.
No, Sector
Blue.
7G.
I think so. They came back. They're playing a thing. I just gotta fucking please talk about this event.
Wow.
But I have to go back.
You
and
see?
watch it, what that
You
is.
see? And I haven't gone on the road in 2 years now.
So, where do you guys? Okay, if you could play any venue in Chicago, what would it be? And what local bands should people know about in Chicago?
What's your
Okay.
third part?
Okay.
I don't tonight.
If we're gonna play like a CD release show or some type of huge thing, or what exactly?
It doesn't even matter. Why the fuck you gotta give it like some sort of
Because
title?
like,
Aren't you important enough without a CD release?
look, we can play in a backyard and it'll fill with people.
I know. I've seen pictures.
But depending on where we play venue.
But where do you want? I don't care about the subjective of who would show up. I didn't ask how many people you anticipate for this fictional
No,
question.
you're going
Ready.
too hard on me.
God damn!
Sing.
Zig a zag!
She
Where
has
do
to
you-
stop you before you go on a rant.
Where do
I
you
will
want to
say-
play? If you could play any venue in Chicago, where do you want to play?
Oh, in Chicago?
Number one,
Man.
Any backyard.
a
No, it
backyard.
have to be like fucking. Where do they host
Maybe
that?
venue.
Like Case of Chaos, those big old
Oh, yeah.
The
Midwest
church?
amphitheater.
Yeah.
some.
That's where I want to play.
Charter 1 Pavilion. And
Yeah, something like that.
House of
Forget
Blues.
about these backyard shows or bars. Fuck that. Fuck Reggie's. Fuck all these places.
I like Reggie's.
I want to
You might
fill
need
up
to
one
play
of
there
those
again.
We played there before, yeah,
amphitheaters.
it's cool.
House of Blues. Fucking Congress. Isn't Congress gone?
Isn't it always under
Mhm.
construction
Fuck.
or something?
There goes that
Yeah.
one.
So what about when you play out in your own city? Okay, who are up and coming Chicago bands that you like to play with and that people should know about?
Shout out Setfire.
Yeah, they
Ugly
started
Boys.
following us. And he stole my fucking saying as much as he says he didn't. The like, share,
Damn.
follow. Fuck you.
We
You stole it from me.
We just had this argument.
Alright, so Ugly Bones, Land Before Tim,
They played our basement.
fucking, who else do I fucking love?
Rain.
Sapphire, I love
Oh, yeah,
those
Rain.
little guys.
And Service.
Rain, yes,
Sawbuck.
Viscera, Sawbuck, I
Shout
love
out
you guys.
Nico.
Fucking.
Sacramento.
Oh, there's another metal band, he drums for 2 bands.
I figured you were in a metal band. I'm
Yeah.
sorry, but
No,
like
you know, it is-
I saw the fucking corpse paint
Oh, yeah.
and the drums, and I was
So, that ain't no source of
like, they growl his name.
Yeah.
I don't know what that is.
43.
Thank you. So, moving along, do you have a I mean, I know that I understand that you are in a moving debacle, but do you have a projected as date-ish or time frame as to when you would like your second album to come out?
Well,
Next year.
hopefully.
Yeah, 2018 it should be out.
Well, it is.
It is
2019.
We wish.
That's
Relax, PCers. We wish.
Who's PC? I mean,
I think he's
they're not gonna watch this shit.
Politically correct.
So, like, what do you think your audience is?
You know what? Actually, those people really don't give a fuck about nothing.
No, they don't. That's why
So-
they put children in cages, because if they gave a fuck, they'd care.
This might
So
sound.
basically, all right, we released the last album.
Whatever.
We released the last album Friday the 13th in October last year.
Mm-hmm.
I'm hoping for a 1-year anniversary and release for the next one.
You guys are also
Hoping.
playing Punk Picnic, yeah?
Yeah.
Cool. Do you know where on the lineup you follow, or are you just gonna show up?
Yeah, they usually make you like write your name, go there as early as you can and write your name. Yeah.
P.S. That's dumb as fuck! And I only
It's
say
true.
this because now that I've been doing this long enough and been connected to multiple music festivals, there's a set list for everything. I understand the laissez-faire, we're punk rock, we don't give a shit. Here's a piece of cardboard right here. But there is like significant validity to actually having a set time for people, because you want to market to certain people based on certain time frames. Do you want everybody to show up for the whole show? Yes, you do. But if you strategically place bands in such a manner that people know what the fucking lineup is,
Oh, yeah.
they will stay to watch you. So in fact, you shoot yourself in the foot when you're like, just show up and write your name. No. Plus you need to like make sure that people are held responsible. I'm sorry, I like to
No.
responsible
Wait, I was
for
clapping.
things.
I was talking about
Amen, amen. That's why I'm not popular in my own fucking city.
So there's not a
He's not
40-minute
dead.
delay?
Yeah.
So,
Hey,
there's no 40-minute delay in between sets?
Right.
Yeah, thank God, but maybe there is.
You
There
guys,
is when
you
don't
guys
have a
played
set.
earlier last year. We fell in love with you from watching you then, and then we found you on Facebook, and I was like, you have to come do this.
Funny story. We met a kid who was like, "You're my favorite band in the whole festival, and can you sign my shirt?" And
Did
can
he have
you-"
a mohawk?
No, he had no
Okay.
hair. He was this little chubby
Was
kid.
it Alex?
He's this little chubby kid. He's like, "Yeah, I can't forget you, and I love you guys. And can I have a CD and a shirt and
Aw.
sign it for me?" I was like,
They sound just like that.
yeah, and we talk like that
That
with
was
each
you.
other.
Oh, they make cute voices at each other.
Mom, we're gonna meet up early and come on, hurry up, please. You son of a bitch.
Is it easy for you guys to schedule practice times?
We don't practice anymore.
Yeah.
No.
Now we're on a rehearsal
Right.
spot.
We had to practice when we were
Maybe
training him.
I practice on, yeah.
Yeah, and I told him I was
our
like,
own time. and
When we
stuff,
had the
you know.
rehearsal spot, we
So,
practiced
yeah,
for a
it's
bit,
cool.
but when that fell through.
Are you looking for a rehearsal
no,
spot?
we don't need one. Well, actually,
Well, I mean, it wouldn't hurt to have
no.
a
You know what's
rehearsal
gonna
spot.
happen? You know what's
There
gonna
is Discord. You're either gonna sink or swim.
But you know what I'm gonna say is, you know what's gonna happen is we're gonna end up recording the new album in my new house, and while we're recording the album is gonna be the rehearsal for the whole album. We're not gonna need to
He's not thrilled about that
do
idea.
what it's because
He's like, don't worry about
there's
him.
already about 6 songs like half
New
done,
house.
7 songs,
What?
you know, that he doesn't know yet. But we showed him 2 of the songs. We did one of them for you
What happened?
guys today.
You heard it here first.
First.
You heard it here first.
You son of a fucking
Exclusive.
bitch.
Don't say you didn't.
So
Yeah, you can say that, right? Right?
yeah,
Well, it's marked down now, so it has to
you
happen.
can
Fuck,
definitely do
man.
You've heard it on the
I
line.
fucking did it again.
it. Okay, Britney Spears, calm down.
Oops, you did it again.
So do
You
you
whore.
like work in collaboration with other bands, or who books you mostly, or how does making sure that your name, your music get out there go? Are you all responsible for promotion?
I leave that up to him. I just show up and look pretty.
Basically,
With your aviators on?
I talk to everybody.
No, it's cool.
If I don't set up a show that's like a really big show with one of our like buddy bands,
Who are your buddy bands?
Ugly
Everybody's
Bones, Slam Before Tim,
Why them?
Those are my best friends.
Well, I have my own
from
band.
when I.
Who's your buddy band?
Well,
He
Sapphire.
gets to talk too.
So, well, there's just different levels of the buddy band because who you've known the longest and who's been a band the longest kind of falls more like.
Band Before Tim has almost been a band for what, 5 years? Because I met Sam in 2015.
I used to date a girl who lives in Tim's house.
Yeah?
Yeah.
He has cats.
Yeah.
All I know is that
Cat.
he tried to take me out to a movie once, and I was like, I don't know what that is.
Oh wait, no, not
movie?
Tim. I meant Jake. Tim, here I am. Tim. Jake. I meant Jake. But who cares right now? We don't
There's
have-
like
we don't
8
have
of
time
them.
to get into all of this right now.
No.
Anyways, I'm very close with those guys. And Ugly Bones too. I actually,
Fuck yeah.
before I ever met half of the dudes who I know now, I played with Ugly Bones in a fuck cancer show. Because my mom had cancer at the time, so I did a fuck cancer show. They were like, yeah, we'll play. And they were so high status back then when we first started. And now we're like, pretty much like right here. And they're like still up here. They're dope. They're dope, but we're kind of dope too.
You're getting there. What's your buddy band?
My buddy, the bands I like to play with. Well, I like playing in my other band in Sapphire.
Oh, he,
I share. I'm
he
in two
likes
bands.
that.
Okay.
We just played a backyard show. It was awesome, and both my bands were in there.
Yeah.
Okay,
These-
question. Who runs the Setfire Ska page?
Kiko.
Okay, Kiko.
Kiko.
Kiko Setfire.
Do I get
He's
it?
the one!
If you're gonna
He's
yell
the
at
one!
me- if you're gonna yell at me,
No,
yell at me.
I'm not gonna yell at anybody.
Yell at
Well,
him
I just
already.
project. I have the testicular fortitude to be louder than all of you.
Testicular?
But yes, that's right.
Whoa, man, I'm loving all these.
But anyways, he's the one that's like stole my like, follow,
wanna set up a
share,
message?
and I did, and he was like, I don't know what you're talking about. I'm like, motherfucker, you heart all my videos. I know what you're talking about. So
Oh, man.
You want to send him a message?
you can you get your other band on this
You
thing.
tell him what he's doing wrong, and then we'll talk about it tomorrow.
Do you have a buddy band?
Yeah,
I like to play with my other band. They're cool. Like,
Who's your other
Great,
band?
everyone's
yeah,
got-
Sacramento. Yeah, so like I said, black metal. Yeah.
Mhm.
We play like a couple shows. It's cool doing the double duty or like when you.
I
play
love
two
doing
shows at
double
once.
duty.
They're a cool band to play with. Yeah.
Oh, also,
I mean, Sapphire's cool as shit too. I like
I,
that.
I forgot to mention. There's a couple more bands.
Yeah, I want to shut up.
When we
Sawbuck
was no,
Yeah,
so, you
Sawbuck's
said
cool.
and
Sawbuck.
East Avenue.
Oh, yeah,
When
exactly.
we was kids,
Wow.
baby. Also, Alive Alone, I love you, motherfuckers. Who else? I already said Ugly Bones. Woo! Well, when we was kids, special shout out, dude. I love you, fucking motherfuckers.
What about merchandise? Do you guys have merch?
We have some merch. We have buttons, stickers, and CDs for right now. We're working on getting more patches and fucking throwing our phones at the walls.
I'm doing a photo shoot for them for the new merchandise we're about to get, and then we're gonna put that out on the page.
Cool. So where can people find you? Because we are at the top of the hour already, if you can believe that.
Yes.
No, I don't believe you. Tell me that again.
And guess what?
What?
We're at the top of the hour.
Oh no!
So I need you
Not
to tell
again.
me, the listeners out there who are like, this was ridiculous, where can they find you because they want, like the train wreck, to continue to watch?
Train.
shortstoryinc.bandcamp.com. You can get our album. Facebook.com/shortstoryinc. You can find all of our shows. SoundCloud, you can find all of our demos. And probably YouTube, you'll be able to find our documentary and music videos when they come
Where's
out.
the merch
Our merch
at the show?
is at
It's on its
shows.
way.
It's
Yeah,
at shows just for
We're
now.
making it.
But when we get all of our shit in line, we'll be probably using one of those like
If you only knew somebody who could do that for you.
maybe I do now.
Yeah.
I feel like you're
Look at that! He picked up on the vibe! High five! Yes!
And I looked at the elbow to make sure we clapped hard.
You have to. You look at
I
the
was
elbow
looking
for a
s-
perfect
I
high
was like-
five.
I was like this.
That's science.
That was a one-up.
This has been Just the Ska Kid. This has been Short Story Inc. You can find them on multiple social media platforms. And
Who
if
you
you are
watch?
in the surrounding area,
Blinding me.
you can catch them at multiple festivals. On September, I believe it is 3rd, they will be in Kenosha for, punk. What do we call it?
Punk
Punk
picnic?
picnic.
No, I guess.
And September 22nd in Punk the Burbs
Live
with a
Celebrity.
ton of other bands.
We had to sign
Come on,
we had to sign a contract that we would not play any shows 4 weeks prior or 2 weeks after.
For Punk the Burbs.
So,
Oh, you didn't hear that, Caitlin? Strike that, reverse it. And that's why they don't come on here too. So, anyways, without further ado, we will leave you into this evening. This has been Short Story Inc. Catch us next week when we have Billy Dreamer and we're going to talk about Milwaukee Punk Fest, which we are emceeing and hosting. Okay?
Thanks.
Bye!